Hey, how are you? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create more leads, how to manage your leads, and how to close more deals and stay in front of people in the long run. So with that, I believe that if you apply this, even if you're just starting up or you've been in the business for years and you're kind of wishy-washy on how your process is working for you and you're not 100% certain that your process is the most effective, I highly recommend watching this. I think it'll help you. It could maybe make you close a couple more deals a week, a month, and make some more money and keep some more money in your pocket. So let's dive into it. All right, so as always, if you do get any value, I really appreciate it if you could give a like, subscribe, ring the bell. It helps me reach more people and this video to more agents out there that could use these tips. So first off, I talked about how to create more leads. Super important. I think a lot of people talk about it. There's a lot of different strategies out there, and I've looked at my numbers and team members' numbers and just other agents out there and just kind of analyzed what is the common theme and factor that causes agents to create more leads and close more deals. So creating the leads purely comes down to, from what I've seen, is having meaningful relationships and talk time. So how much time you actually spend on the phone and having conversations with people and displaying your knowledge and being an advisor and providing value to customers and prospects out there is the way you're going to create more leads. So it's not about the number of calls. Like, you could make 100 calls a day and get a bunch of voicemails and never really have any meaningful conversations. Those might work and they might lead to something, but realistically, you're better off having 5 solid conversations throughout the day, just with great customers, great referral partners that are going to lead to something, instead of just a bunch of calls that are voicemails. You can't mistake like the activity just for actual valuable activity. There's activity and then there's valuable activity. So make sure your activity is valuable and you're having good conversations and talk time. A lot of mine have come from early relationship building with referral partners that just lead to referrals that are constantly flowing to me, on top of the outbound, having new prospects. It's this business is constantly flowing. It's always going. There's going to be new people in front of you, so you go on. Every time you talk to someone, it's the first time they're hearing you. So crush it. Make sure you're on it and you're sharp and you're bringing value. So talk time, not about the number of calls. Like, obviously you can't sit there and just spend all day talking to one customer. Make sure you're making some other calls and talking to people, but have those meaningful conversations and bring value to people. First thing I do, and so that's that, creating your activity and creating your leads. That's how you're going to do it. Once you have a lead or anybody that shows interest, what do you do then? My number one thing that I do immediately, first thing I do, is I go and put my lead or anybody who even shows interest, like, hey Chris, I'll take a quote, or like, hey, do you do car insurance, or anything like they just question any sign of interest. I immediately go put them on my whiteboard, just so that it's somewhere. Like, you're going to be getting texts or inbound lead opportunities from TikTok, Instagram, email, referral partners, texting. You're going to be getting out on the street when people talk to you. No matter what, you need to have one central place where they all kind of funnel back into. If not, they're going to be scattered everywhere and you're going to feel lost. And you're going to lose people. I've done this where people have reached out and there were great opportunities and I totally blew it because I just didn't write it down or keep it anywhere in front of me. So I just forgot about it. So don't do that. Don't forget about it. Put it in a centralized place. I like to split my stuff up from commercial, homeowners, and auto. Those are my kind of 3 main areas I really like to focus on. So whatever it is for you, split it up. Have a whiteboard, have an Excel sheet, have a pipeline, whatever it is you do, but just put it in one centralized place immediately when you get an opportunity. So that's that. The next thing is speed of turning around a quote. So once you gather information about a quote, that initial call is very important. Bring value and start getting the quote information. I like to gather info and then I like to go and quote stuff. So that's part of my time blocks too, like certain parts of the day where I like to quote. But really you want to start turning around quotes as fast as you possibly can. I believe part of my competitive edge as an agent is that I turn around quotes faster than other agents. And I believe that, first of all, people just buy, sometimes based on like speed. They're like, okay, this guy's first, I'll take his quote. that's an opportunity. It's not a right reason to buy, but it is a reason why people buy. But also loan officers, other referral partners, they value that speed because it's just good customer service. And also it just shows that you're on top of it, you're sharp. People are going to want to work with somebody who's on top of it and sharp. So speed of your quote, turning it around quickly is super important. And then the next thing I like to do is once I get the quote out, I always email it out and make sure they have it in front of them so that they can visually see it. This is essential to closing a deal, is making sure that your customer can see the coverages, see the quotes, see the prices, and then I call them within 30 minutes to an hour. I always give them about 30 minutes to an hour to see the quote. I call them, to digest it a little bit, see that big number, that $10,000 initial payment. Just kidding, it's not always $10,000, but sometimes it is. Let them digest that a little bit, 30 minutes to an hour, then you call them, follow up and just say, hey Mike, real quick, just wanted to see if you got a chance to see the options. I sent over 3 options, 1 enhanced, 1 in the middle, and 1 low coverage option, just so you have different coverage points and price points for comparison. It's an A+ rated company. It's excellent coverage. With the top one is with $1 million, middle is with $500,000, and the low is $100,000. My recommendation, Mike, is you go with the middle or the high. It's got better blah 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 blah. Can we get that going for you? Let's get that going for you, Mike. And obviously, initially, you want to gather before you even start quoting. Always find out what they're looking for so that you know how to position it and close that deal. So the point is, turn around the quote, call them, follow up immediately. Do not let those sit too long. If you let quotes sit too long, like a couple days, a couple weeks, especially when it's like auto home, those things go quick. So you really want to be on top of it fast. You don't want to let those sit for a week, 2 weeks. Next thing you know, the person's shopped around, they don't care anymore, they lost interest. When people want insurance, they want it like now. They want speed. So follow up. I like to follow up every other day. If it's something that was more urgent, I follow up the next day and the next day until I stop hearing from them. I follow up every other day. And use your best judgment. I at least like to follow up like 4 to 5 to 6, 7 times even until I completely give up on them and I say this is dead, this deal is dead. And still even then I latch on to hope. Maybe I'm just like optimistic, but I just latch on to hope sometimes. But you want to keep following up, and eventually once that person is they're completely dead, that deal is dead, they're not answering, it's been a month, it's been it's completely cold, there's something else that you have to do at that point. So I like to keep, like I said, all of my stuff on my whiteboard tracked. Then I keep them all in my Excel sheet in my management system, and my Excel sheet is my whole month of leads that kind of came in. So in that Excel sheet, at the end of the month, I look at the ones that are completely cold. Obviously some closed, some are still pending, whatever. But the cold ones, I take those leads and I drop them into a drip campaign. So these drip campaigns will keep in front of them, and we email them 6 months and 11 months later. Because 11 months is just before the year. They were thinking about insurance this last year, so they're probably going to be around that time thinking about insurance again. So the point is to stay in front of them. Give yourself one more shot next year or in 6 months where you can still potentially earn this piece of business. So all your efforts aren't going to waste. They still kind of hear from you, and this is automated. I don't do this myself. It's an automated thing because at this point you can't follow up with every single potential lead, but it just still keeps the door open. It keeps it alive. It keeps deals alive, and it comes back to you sometimes. So that's pretty much it from start to finish, from creating activity to creating leads to quoting and speed, quoting and sending back, following up with your lead and trying to close them right then and there. If you don't close them and they go cold, how to follow up and stay in front of them. That's pretty much it, and that's kind of the process and the lifeline of prospects and leads coming into my agency. And I think hopefully that does help you. These are processes that we're constantly refining too. We're trying to get the best programs, systems, and everything in place. To this day, I can honestly say I don't believe there is one golden system that I'm like, this is the one that everybody should be using. If I did, I would already have been telling you, and I probably would have been promoting them. I think there's some that are in the works that I believe are up and coming. So keep an eye out for them. I think that there's going to be some good stuff coming in the insurance market as they kind of stop being dinosaurs, and they start to figure it out because technology, I believe, is way behind. So whatever that process, regardless, like that's always going to be the process, like to close deals. But it's just a matter of like, will somebody automate it, put it into one perfect system, instead of having to use whiteboards and Excel sheets and management pipelines, and then connecting with your management system and like all these different things that independent agents have to deal with and I have to deal with, which I think is still inefficient. I wish there was something out there. So if you're a tech developer, call me because I've got this. This is like, I figured it all out. Yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully that does help you, and you can take a piece of this to apply it to your business and make some more sales, make an extra sale, make your your talk time higher, get some more meaningful calls out there, quote people immediately. Like, don't waste time and look at TikTok or spend time. Like, quote people, send them their quote, follow up with them, close them up. It's in the best interest of you and the customer to get it done faster. They help get the right coverage, they save money, you get your commission faster. It's just, everybody wins. It's called the winner's exchange. So make sure you're in the winner's exchange and people are getting value from you. And that is all I got. Hopefully that does help, and we'll see you guys at the top. See you soon, guys. Peace.